States. It's Mark from the United States.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mark from the States. How we doing today? I'm doing fantastic. Shocker. I hope you are as well. I'm blessed to have you here. I am so grateful for all of you. You know that, but I just feel I need to tell you because it's true. Today, basically, I'm promoting this channel because I love it. It is not just a channel. It is a podcast. It's with two guys you know so well. They are awesome. Oh, every time I say the word now, it just goes to my head thinking about everything. Okay. They are great. They are wonderful people. And they've, of course, have given me their blessing to be able to share their videos on our channel. Of course, I'm talking about we have Waze and Al Murray, James Holland. Those two guys are awesome. And you know what's even better? When they're together. So I encourage you, if you are interested in the World War II stuff, they have a podcast. We have Ways of Making You Talk. And they dive into certain aspects of World War II, whether it's a certain mission, an invasion, a piece of kit, whatever. They cover it all. Incredible, little interesting stories. I'm sure a lot of you already know about it. We've done one other video kind of highlighting they have this big party in the summertime where everybody comes. That looks fun. Would love to go to that. That would be cool. But of course, you know Al Murray from his alter ego. And when he's doing his comedy, he's hilarious. Of course, we get the Al Murray with hair, which is always shocking. I wish it was for me to where I have an alter ego, one that's bald, and then my regular self that has hair. I don't. I lost the regular self many years ago. So it's really cool seeing him, but you still hear Al. You still hear him. And you could just imagine him standing on stage. I love it. And of course, James, he's Mr. Knowledgeable about all things World War II. And I remember I used to watch a lot of World War II stuff on History Channel. And he's always popping in as some of the experts who throw in their comments and their opinions on things or tell you exactly why things were. And that was like my first experience with Mr. Holland, and found him very, very entertaining. There's something about the way he speaks. He's of course very knowledgeable. He makes it very enjoyable to listen to him. And these two guys together, it's like peanut butter and chocolate. It's like salt and pepper, or should I say peanut butter and jelly? You guys don't really eat peanut butter and jelly. That's not really a thing for all of you, is it? It's really good if you haven't tried it. Or jam. You can put jam, preserves, whatever. But anyway, yeah, I was like, we did that video of things that annoy all of you. And boy, the responses was incredible. Thank you. Some were pretty brutally honest, and that's what I said. I said I love it, and then you guys didn't disappoint. So essentially, awesome is a no-go, which unfortunately for all of you, I say like every other word is awesome. And I certainly type it all the time. And here's the thing: on my phone, I have swipe, and if some of you who don't know what swiping, it's a way to text. It's instead of just tapping letters to spell out the words on the keypad, I can just use my finger and just go from letter to letter to letter to letter, to spell the word out without lifting my finger up. And it's very, very satisfying. If you don't have swipe, you should try it. It's fun. It's fun to spell. So doing awesome on the phone, oh, There's some sort of satisfaction there. I don't know what it is, but it's awesome. Sorry. But unfortunately for you, the word awesome isn't going anywhere. I am a product of the 80s, 70s, and 80s in Los Angeles area. So yeah, that was part of our vernacular, and yeah, that word's probably never going to leave me. I'll be saying that until the day I die, I'm sure. Cute. Using cute is a word to describe an inanimate object, like a building or a village or, you know, a painting or, you obviously know. I'm guilty of that. God, there's so many. Super. I do say super a lot. Instead of saying, very or, I, it makes me wonder, is like, my vocabulary I have a large vocabulary. I'm not going to say I don't, but I tend to just use the words I'm real comfortable with. And just so happens, lucky for all of us, the majority of them that I use probably annoy you. But you know what? Here you are. And I am so blessed and grateful that even though I annoy the crap out of all of you, you're still coming back. At least I think you are. I could be talking to nobody right now for all I know. A good friend of our channel, one of our family, Ian, sent me this book about a week or so ago. It's called London, A Guide for Curious Wanderers. I had mentioned that I'd gotten it at the beginning of a video before. But I wanted to, I've been reading through it, and I find really kind of weird things. It's, of course, just about London and some surrounding areas. But I want to point out some things that I read that I thought was pretty fascinating and thought maybe, I wonder if you all knew that. And so we're going to have periodically, before a video, I'm going to have an installment of what I read in this book and thinking that you all might be finding it interesting as well. So today's installment is the fake 10 Downing Street. Now, 10 Downing Street, that's where the Prime Minister lives, correct? Okay. But apparently there's a fake one, and it's on 10 Adams Street. Does anybody know where that is? Does anybody know of this? Have you heard of this? Have you ever wanted a photo in front of 10 Downing Street and do not happen to be a visiting dignitary? Well, then head to 10 Adams Street instead. Built from 1768 to 1774, and that's what's great. It's like you have fake stuff that is older than dirt. I love it. It's great. With its black bricks, cream-colored door surround, fan light, and black cast iron railings, number 10 Adams Street looks remarkably like the famous home of the Prime Minister. Did you know this? Both houses have the characteristic black painted bricks, but this was not always the case. Now, here's the part that really blew my socks off. I'm not wearing any socks to begin with, so that was just a joke. Let's see here. The bricks at 10 Downing Street were cleaned in the 1950s. They were cleaned, okay? Revealing that they were, in fact, yellow. Yellow. That's crazy. The black being the result of centuries of pollution. That makes you feel good when you're walking around the city, doesn't it? Whew. The yellow, it was thought, did not look prime ministerial. That's a tough one. Ministerial, I guess. Enough, and so the black paint came out, and it was returned to its previous appearance. Who knew that? So, 10 Downing Street, it's not black. That's fake. Like this couch. It's not real. They're actually yellow. And apparently, yellow didn't have the gravitas as a dwelling for Prime Minister. it would. I think yellow ship is kind of doesn't show and project power, strength. Yellow projects like, oh, how cute. I don't know. I love that. So, yes, thank you, Ian. Appreciate it. This book is awesome. It's a bunch of stuff like that, and I've been enjoying reading that. Today's video, it's good stuff. It really is. Anyway, we have ways. This is a video called Paint. It's a series of videos called A Picture Paints 1,000 Words, where they have a photo they bring up, they talk about it. It's World War II related. This happens to be on the Flying Cromwell, the tank, the British tank, right? I don't know the Flying Cromwell. I don't know if it's a nickname, whatever. We're going to get into it. Please come sit on this big fake couch. You guys are truly wonderful people, and I thank you all for coming. And we're going to check this out and see what they're talking about. Here we go.
Hello and welcome to A Picture Paints 1,000 Words with me, James Holland, and with Al Murray. And today it's Al's turn. So Al, what have you got?
Well, I have a picture of a Cromwell tank.
Oh my gosh.
The Mark V jumping in 1944. On trials, obviously, and it's the fantastic dynamic image.
It's pretty gnarly
of the tank actually leaving contact with the ground. It's gone up a ramp, sort of Evel Knievel style, and has left the ground. And one of the mud guards at the front is flipped up. The port side mud guard has flipped up, and the shackle below it has flipped up because of the force of this tank leaping.
I want to go back to. I'll just leave it there, I guess. That's amazing, something that heavy and big. And I know they didn't go terribly fast. I'm surprised. I really am surprised. I didn't think they could get enough speed to be able to get air like that. Now, yeah, he's going off a ramp. So I'm sure gravity, this picture was taken at the exact same right time. It almost looks like the tank is still going up. It probably got to the off of the ramp and is now descending to Earth. And gosh, if you're driving that thing, the landing must absolutely be brutal. Were there seatbelts in tanks? If they're going to be doing stuff like this, I would imagine you probably need a seatbelt. Incredible, though. Something that big and heavy can not fall apart when it hits the ground, comes back to Earth, but just wild. Absolutely wild.
Up, and the shackle below it has flipped up because of the force of this tank leaping through the air. And British tank production is much maligned in the Second World War, even more than Allied tank production in general. Yet here we have a vehicle capable of 40 miles an hour, leaving the ground.
That's pretty
and
fast.
Showing that, in fact, there is more to this story than, Allied tanks are crap. and that a lot of thought and development's going on. And this is one of the wayposts. This vehicle, 3,000 of them made, something like that, is one of the wayposts to Centurion, which is regarded as the first main battle tank, the greatest main battle tank, arguably of all time. And if that's your thing, if that's your tank thing. So that's what I'm offering, Jim, because it's an extraordinary picture.
Before Jim gets into what he calls him, I'm still going to call you James. Hope you don't mind. I don't know you well enough. I don't know you at all to call you Jim. So all the tanks, Cromwell, Centurion, they're all like with the letter C, yeah? There's a few others, I believe. Actually, I think Cromwell's a great name for a tank. It just sounds like a tank. So does Centurion, let's be honest. Tank names are awesome. I mean, names for military vehicles, aircraft, they're all really kind of cool. I would love to just be on the planning committee to name vehicles. I think what a fun job that would be, to just sit around and bounce ideas off the wall, So the Cupcake would not be a good tank name. even though it starts with a C. Cupcake. Probably not. What about the cup of tea? Cuppa. How about just the cuppa? Now, it's... These things had tea on them, right? I know a lot of you have said that they have tea capabilities. Lack of a better definition or description, which is so British and it's so I was going to say it again. So wonderful. I'm going to have to get out of the thesaurus. That's just plain and simple. It's awesome. It really is. I think that's so cool.
That's your tank thing. So that's what I'm offering, Jim. This because it's an extraordinary picture.
Isn't it just? I mean, just look at it. And I mean, imagine the poor sod in it. He's then
right.
28 tons worth of tank about to land, because that's at least 2.5 meters off the air.
Yeah, it's 2-3 meters. The leading edges must be 3 meters off the air, and they're going to all their dentures are coming out when they land, aren't they? I mean, there's what's not pictured is the mattresses, the big pile of mattresses it's about to land on out of camera. Clearly,
do you think they're wearing helmets inside?
But what's interesting about this,
I would think so.
Is that the British have put in this a Meteor, which is a Merlin engine without a supercharger on. So what you've got here, rather than this idea that we don't really know what we're doing with tanks, the British, is that actually, well, we need a reliable power plant. We've got one, and then they test this engine on a series of suspensions and a series of existing designs, and they work their way towards getting this right. And although it's supposedly delayed and due in the desert and all that sort of thing, sort of held up by 9 months, that's a pretty common hold up in tank development for everyone during the Second World War.
We're going to pause there because I want to take a screenshot, and we're going to all be a part of this. We're going to drop here because I'm going to use this for the thumbnail. A lot of you have noticed that I've really gotten into thumbnails. And if you don't know what thumbnails are, it's the little picture above the video, right? Whether or not they draw more people, I don't know. And honestly, I don't really care. I just enjoy doing them. I'm learning something new. And so I've been kind of just having fun with the thumbnails. Most people probably don't even look at it. But for me, it's a little satisfying. Anyway, this would be a great thumbnail. Anyway, continue on.
And the British have to choose, do they want the Sherman, do they want the Cromwell? And they don't want to just buy Shermans because then they're reliant on the Americans for tank production. So the Cromwell fills the gap. And it's for the I mean, I've gone on about this before, but there's the Great Swan after the breakout of Falaise, where this is exactly the vehicle you need. It's exactly the
That's a cool photo
that you want. And here it is, slipping the surly bonds of earth, Prometheus style, and leaping towards us.
Well, I think that's one of the best tank pictures from the Second World War I've ever seen. I think it's an absolute cracker.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I love it.
And just like that, thanks for watching, and we're done. I love these little segments that they do. You've got to go to their channel. Please go support. We have ways of making you talk. Go to their channel, go to the podcast, listen to it while you're cleaning the house or driving or laying in bed, because we all need Al Murray and James Holland in our life, and it's really important that you go and support them. It's very entertaining. Now, if you don't like World War II and that doesn't interest you, maybe you don't want to go and check these out, because that's all they talk about. All World War II related stuff. But they have a way of making it interesting. Even the stuff that's not interesting to you, per se, they still make it very interesting, and it's a great listen. And there's a few of you out there that got me hooked on these guys. And, yeah, wonderful. I've given up trying to catch up. I'm just not in the car or have the ability to just listen to a podcast a lot. So if I started like, I don't know, 100 and something podcasts behind, There's no way I'm catching up. So I'm just going through and listening to the ones that interest me when I get a chance. I just don't have that much time to listen to podcasts, but when I do, I enjoy this very, very much. Occasionally, I do have to take a road trip for work. They are awesome. So I want to say thanks to Al, thanks to James. You guys make my drive so much better. Thank you so much, and thank you for your work. Please go support them. Thank you to all of you coming. Let me know what you think about the Cromwell. Give me the other tanks with the C. I know, is it still continuing on to this day that they are naming tanks with the letter C? I believe that's the case. And I know they do that with ships as well. They did that with the bombers. They had the V bombers, right? Why? Why is that a thing? Why was that a thing? Why is it still a thing? I guess it makes it easy, makes it challenging to kind of come up with another name with each new vehicle. I guess it can also classify what you're talking about, I guess. I kind of wish the Americans did that, because it would be kind of cool to have all these different names with starting with the same letter. We don't do that, do we? I don't think so. We like to name a lot of our ships after presidents, and I always thought that was kind of weird. But anyway, they should have, like, if the military's hurting for money, they should do like a GoFundMe of like, hey, put your name on this ship or plane. This is what we're gonna call it. And have like an auction, and have like the top. It's a good way to make money in this day and age. The government is really stingy about wanting to give you money, and this is a good way to rack up some cash for yourself, right? For you being the military, it'd be cool. I think I got an idea there. Let's do it. GoFundMe. Can you imagine you're on GoFundMe? You have one from the Royal Air Force. Put your name here, that sort of thing. That'd be cool. I'd donate. Sure. How would you like to have the HMS Mark from the States? Oh, yeah. It would probably be like one of those vessels that just goes around and picks up trash. Something like that. One of the lesser known, less flashy vessels. Hey, I'd take it. Anyway, hope everybody's happy, healthy, and safe. Thanks a lot for coming. Have a great day. All of you, have a great day. You guys are amazing. Look, I mentioned it in the last video. Hey, I'm thinking about doing a live stream where we could just talk. We could talk about life. We don't even have to talk about really anything. Really, we could talk about what the current climate is with all the protests, and it's going crazy over here. I don't know. Is it just as crazy where you live? It's bonkers. All the colleges and these kids and their sponge brains that are easily manipulated by other people. They're all out there, but as soon as the cops come walking in, they just get arrested, and then, it's brutal. It's so annoying to watch. I'll tell you what, if I'm paying for my kid to go to one of those universities and I'm paying $80,000-$90,000 a year, and that's what they're doing, I'm yanking my money, and that ain't happening. And so I wonder how many of the parents know that their children are involved in this stuff. So I think the tip of the day is to the parents: pay attention to what your kids are doing. Anywho, boy, did I go off on a tangent. Anyway, we could talk about stuff like that if you care to. Live stream. Let me know if that's something you want to do. Have a great day. We'll see you later. Bye.
Mark from the States, Mark from the States, it's Mark